This lesson is on finding the surface area of a cylinder. If you look at the formula, it's not unlike the surface area formula for prisms, with the one exception, and that is that you're multiplying the circumference times the height. But remember, circumference in a circle is like perimeter in a polygon. So it is the same idea, just with different terminology. Don't forget, too, there are two ways to compute circumference. We can compute circumference when we're given the radius as 2 times pi times r. If we're given the diameter, remember that diameter is just 2 radii. So if we're given the diameter, we can simply just say pi times diameter, because diameter is the same as 2 radii. Remember, the diameter goes all the way across the circle through the center, but the radius only goes halfway across the circle. It starts at the center and goes to the edge of the circle. So just be careful with that. In these three examples, you're given the radius, so we can use 2 pi r, or you can compute in your head what the diameter is. It doesn't really matter. But just be careful with that you use the correct number when you're computing. So we'll try two of these. We'll try number 13 and number 15. And number 13 is a cylinder, kind of like a can of soup, where it's sitting on its base. Okay, the base being the circle. So we need to find the area of that circle and the circumference of the circle. So remember, since it is a circle, I'm going to use capital B, standing for area, equals 2 times, that's not right, I'm not finding the surface area yet. The area of the base is pi times radius squared, which is equal to 4 pi. Now we're going to find the circumference of the base, which is 2 times pi times radius. That also happens to be equal to 4 pi. So now we have both the area of the base and the circumference, and we're ready to find the surface area. Remember, in a cylinder, there are two bases, and that's why the number 2 is in your formula to represent the top and the bottom. So 2 times the area of the base, 4 pi, plus the circumference times, and hopefully you can see that this particular cylinder is 8 yards tall. So that's our height, 8. Then we just do our computing. I have not typed the number 3.14 in or hit the pi button on my calculator. I think it's a lot easier just to do it like this and save your pi until the end. Save your pi for dessert. Save your pi till the end. So 2 times 4 is 8. 8 pi. 4 pi times 8 is 32 pi. Now I can treat these like terms because they are, where we add our coefficients. 8 plus 32 is 40 pi. And if you plug that into your calculator, remember 40, and just hit second caret to access your pi button on your graphing calculator. If you don't have a graphing calculator, just hit 3.14. Now enter. And what I get is 125.6, but my directions ask me to round to the nearest whole number. So 0.6, 6 is 5 or higher, so that's going to round up to 126. Our unit of measure is yards, always squared because it's area. So number 15, again, it's lying on its side. It's not on its base. Still have to find that information the same way. So we say area of the base equals pi times radius squared, or pi times 9. There's your area of the base. The circumference is 2 times pi times radius, okay, or 6 pi. So now we're ready to find our surface area. Again, there are two bases. So we have to say 2 times 9 pi plus circumference times the height. Okay, here's the distance between our bases. Again, it's lying on its side. Okay, so area of the base was 9 pi, and 2 times 9 pi is 18 pi. And 6 pi times 12 is 72 pi. And 18 plus 72 is 90 pi, right? And then now we'll go to the calculator, and we get 282.7. So that's approximately equal to, rounded to the nearest whole number, we have to round up, 283 millimeters square. There's our answer, rounded to the nearest whole number. Now, when you take your SATs and your PSATs, because they don't expect you to use a calculator, you don't have to use a calculator, then whenever you have to have pi in your answer, they give an answer called what's called in terms of pi. And this is your answer in terms of pi, where we never actually compute with pi. We just keep pi as our symbol in the answer. Alrighty, so you just watch for that. If you do end up taking it all the way, you can just go through your answer choices and find out which answer choice is equal to the answer that you got.